Most business owners will never hit $50,000 per month, and it's not because their service or their offer is bad. It's because they're doing one thing that limits their growth, and that is manual cold outreach. The agencies and consultants that are scaling past $50,000 a month are not doing any cold outreach, no cold calls, no cold DMs, no cold anything. They're getting inbound leads. They build out a funnel that brings them warm, constant leads on autopilot every single day. Now, I've personally built this funnel 3 separate times for 3 separate offers, and in this video, I'm gonna break down everything there is to it, how to actually get leads through social media, through YouTube, through Instagram, and how to nurture these leads and turn them into buying customers from your business. All right, boys, so I've written this 24-page Google Doc, which is insanely long. It's pretty much a full course on how exactly you can start getting inbound leads with YouTube. I also have a Miro board, and I'll actually show you my real YouTube analytics, how much that offer is converted, the dashboard I use, and pretty much everything there is to it for you to get started. So here's why inbound leads beats cold outreach by 1,000,000 times. So if you're still doing cold DMs, cold calls, and cold email, there's a really big problem. Most people don't trust you, right? Trust is the main initiator of any sale. And without trust, there is going to be no sale, or you're going to have very little average order values, right? And most prospects, they're hit with the same script, the same DM, the same sales calls multiple times per day, right? And we are in a trust recession. If you look at the statistics, this is practically the lowest point in the USA of trust. People do not trust other people, especially strangers, especially people calling themselves experts, because there's so much spam calls, telemarketing. You're just another fish in the ocean, right? And cold outreach captured time. You or your team must always be working to keep the pipeline moving. If you're not calling, then you're not making any money, right? You can have your current leads, your current clients, but eventually they're going to churn. And then what are you going to do then? You need more clients, which means you need a cold call, which means you're in a constant loop of trying to retain and get more clients by being on the phone. So what this means, you're constantly trying to get new clients just to keep your agency, your consulting business, or info biz afloat, right? That's not scalable. And the worst part is that conversion rates are declining year after year after audiences become more skeptical, there's more competition and more people are joining in. By the way, I'm gonna have these little key insight things around the entire video, and this is just if you don't agree with what I'm saying or just a good point of information. So I'm not saying outbound doesn't work. Outbound outreach is the best for beginners when they have no proof, but inbound is a leverage game, right? So it's for people who want to scale. The goal is to get you to make content so your assets are selling for you 24/7. Anyone can watch a video at any moment, go through your entire YouTube channel, go through your entire Instagram, learn your offer, learn what you do, learn how you do it, and then book a call and buy from you. Compared to you having to call someone, they don't trust you, you have to convince them. It's just not possible to scale that way, right? And inbound, it gives you warm leads who like you, they trust you before they even book a call. And pre-sold prospects who watch 20 to 60 minutes, sometimes even more, sometimes hours of your content before they even book a call. So once they do book, they're pre-sold, and all you have to do is explain how the offer actually works. It has a scalable pipeline because while you're sleeping, traveling, or servicing your current clients, you are going to have new leads constantly coming into your pipeline without doing any work other than maybe uploading a couple videos a week or once a week on YouTube, which is what I do. And the best part is that you will have a significantly higher close rate because the sale is largely made before the call begins. The people learn who you are, they learn about your offer, and they learn to trust you before they book a call. They only book a call if they have a problem and they think that you are the solution, which means they are ready to buy. Now, if we think about the biggest personal brand funnels, whether it's InfoBiz, consulting, or an agency, they're mostly built on platforms like YouTube or paid ads. Paid ads obviously gets you inbound leads as well, but if you're only making 5 to 10K a month, it's smarter to focus on YouTube as a sales asset because paid ads are expensive. And whenever you do launch paid ads, you can funnel people into your YouTube asset as well. But regardless, they generate millions per month, not because they have millions of views, but because the views they get are deeply qualified. And I'll explain what that means in just a second. But think about Daniel Fazio. He sells an agency offer, right? How to start your agency. He makes $100,000 a month from it. I think maybe $400,000. I honestly don't remember, but he only gets 2 to 6K views per video. It's an info-based offer, and it's proof that low views in the right audience equals high revenue. Alex Hormozi, right? He has an acquisition company, and he makes 3 to 5 million from YouTube alone, right? Long form content builds enormous trust. Obviously, he also has his books, but his books are literally just his YouTube videos, but written down and explained even more to get more people into his funnel. Now let's talk about Iman Gatti. He has made millions upon millions of dollars selling through YouTube, and he has a general channel where he just kind of gets people to know who he is, and then he has a more qualified, in-depth YouTube channel where he only talks about business. It only gets 0 to 20K views, and it absolutely prints and is where most of his money comes from. Now, what this means for you, it means that you don't need 1 million subscribers. You just need the right audience. 2,000 views to 10 10,000 views is more than enough money to make over $100,000 a month. Some people can get 500 views per video and still be making easily $30,000 per month because you only need a few of those people to actually buy your product. That small audience is properly qualified and is worth far more than a viral video that attracts the wrong people, like a lifestyle vlog. A lifestyle vlog isn't going to get you buyers for your agency offer, for your consulting offer, for maybe for your info offer. But most of the time, you don't need a lot of views to actually sell to your audience. And that's the best part. In my opinion, 1,000 views on YouTube is equivalent to 1 million views on Instagram and probably 10 million views on TikTok. Now, the formula is very simple, right? High relevance content to a very specific audience with a very strong call to action and predictable book calls, right? That's what you get. Now, let's talk about my YouTube inbound system, right? The entire system is super straightforward. It's super simple. You have YouTube long form videos, right? This is kind of your engine. This is where you're going to pump out a video every single week. If you're really locked in, 2 videos a week. You can just have a simple application form like a type form where people go fill it out to work with you, or you can have a VSL like me. And if you do want to work with me, I'll set this up all for you or done with you. Click the link down below and watch my VSL, watch what I have to offer. Or you can have a booking page where it goes directly to the Calendly. Then you just do your sales call and then you deliver and you're good. That's all it is. It's that simple. Now you can implement Instagram right here, right? The real number one. You can do Instagram, and in your Instagram, you're going to attract more viewers because it's easier to go viral on Instagram and then have a story sequence that's going to send those people to your YouTube so they can go get qualified. They can go watch what you have to offer, understand what you're selling, and then go into this entire pipeline. Now, by the time that someone fills out your application or books a call, they have watched hours of your content. They trust you. They want your help, and they're not shopping around. They want to work with you specifically, and that's why YouTube is so damn good. Now, let's talk about the 7-hour rule. The 7-hour rule is what I preach, right? Someone needs 7 hours of exposure to someone else before they're willing to buy from them, and YouTube is the fastest way to deliver those 7 hours. A 45-minute video, like a full course on how to set up ads. Let's say you're a car detailing Facebook ad agency, right? You run Facebook ads for car detailers. If you make a full course video on how to set up the ads, how to make the creatives, and it's 45 minutes long, if somebody watches that video once and then watches it again because they're trying to set up the ads, they've already consumed 90 minutes, and 4 videos equals 3 hours. They already consumed 90 minutes of your content, and they're going to go to your channel and consume more. And you can rack up those hours so fast, and they'll keep watching if your content is actually good. And short form content, it's only 60 seconds long, maybe a few minutes long. You're not able to just rack up those amount of views, that amount of trust in such a little condensed piece of content, and you really can't give that much information as well. That's why you want to send all your short form views to your YouTube, which is going to sell to them. And that's why long form content is fundamentally different than Reels, TikToks, or tweets, or anything like that, because it establishes a massive amount of trust. Now, if you're convinced that, Dan, I need to build this funnel right now because this funnel is going to make me so much money, which it has made me, I'm going to break it down fully for you right now. So the very first step you need to do is define your category, your niche, and your ICP. So before you even make a single video, you must have absolute clarity on who you are making content for. If you don't know who you are making content for, it's going to be very difficult to sell, to attract that audience, to speak directly to that audience, and to establish trust. Because if you attract the wrong people, you really won't book calls and you won't make sales. So the very first thing you want to do is answer these 3 questions. Who exactly do you want to help? Be super specific. For me, it's agency owners, consultants, and infobiz people who are stuck between $5,000 to $20,000 a month and want to scale to $50,000, $100,000 a month with YouTube and with content. So be hyper specific, right? Don't work with business owners. Instead, if let's say you're some kind of agency, niche down. Let's say your niche is e-com stores who want to run Facebook ads, who organically already make, $50,000 to $100,000 per month. I would niche down even more. I would niche down clothing brand stores who are making $10,000 per month and want to scale to $100,000 with paid ads, because the more niche you are, the easier it is to attract your audience and directly speak with them. Number 2 is, what stage are they at? How much are they currently making? What have they tried? What resources do they have? Are they beginners, intermediate, or advanced? So me, I've had multiple offers. This offer that I'm recording these videos for is for intermediate people. It's for people like you that are watching this video who already are making some money but want to scale. Right? I've had an info offer that works with beginners, that works with intermediate people, and that works with advanced people. If you do advanced, I highly recommend you do a done for you offer. Intermediate is done with you, and beginner is do it yourself type of thing, right? So this would be info, this would be consulting, and this would be an agency offer, most likely. You also want to know, hey, how much money are they making? If you're specifically working with car detailers that are making 10K a month and you can scale them up 20K a month with paid ads, you want to say that in your videos. You want to know that, right? Because car detailer could be starting brand new. They could not even have their bucket of tools, right? They don't have their power washing, they don't have any of that stuff. And that is a very different client than somebody who has a physical location, who's making some money, who's cleaning cars all day, and who's trying to get more leads into his business, right? These are fundamentally two different offers that you would sell to these two different people because they're in very different stages of their business. And the last thing is, what belief are you attacking? What false belief is holding them back? Is it that Google ads don't work? For example, if you have a Google ads agency, is that they need to do everything themselves? For example, if you're helping them hire or recruit, is cold outreach the only way to get clients? Which you probably believe that it's the best way to get clients, and I'm here to tell you that it's not, right? Your content must systematically dismantle the belief and replace it with a new belief that leads naturally to your offer. You are the next step, and you're showing them that, hey, I can help you do this, and I can help you fix this problem that you might have not even known you've had. So here's an example ICP. Pretty much this would be you, an agency owner, consultant, or infobiz doing 5 to 20K, right? The stage is that they're stuck with inconsistent pipeline, they're doing cold outreach, and they can't scale past this range because all their time is consumed by outbound activities. And the belief that I'm attacking is that cold outreach is the only way to reliably get clients, and that YouTube is too slow, too complicated, and content is not a good way to get leads. And why this matters for your content. Your ICP determines your video topics, your thumbnails, your titles, your call to action. Your entire videos are based around your audience, right? So an agency owner that's targeting clothing brands on Facebook will make completely different videos than one that's targeting SaaS companies, or one that's even just targeting e-commerce in general. And once you define your ICP, every video becomes easier to make because you know exactly who you're talking to and exactly what problems they need to solve. So the next thing is crafting your offer. And you cannot build an inbound funnel around a vague, generic offer. And there's a really big problem in the industry right now. Everyone is offering the same exact service. For example, Facebook ads for XYZ niche, or Facebook ads for home service, right? Generic niche, generic offer. Everyone has tried selling that at one point or another, right? And what happens is that since there's so many people selling this, it becomes a price war to the bottom. Why would somebody work with you if they can work with somebody else for $500 instead of $2,000 a month like you, right? They won't. They'll simply pick the cheapest option. So you need to have a strong offer. So let me show you some examples of weak offers. Hey, we run Facebook ads for your business. We help agencies scale or grow. We offer marketing service for home service businesses, right? Very generic. Everyone has sold this, and there's so many people selling this that you really just can't charge over $1,000 for these offers because everyone will do them for $500. Someone in India will do it for probably $50 a month. What a strong offer is we'll help you install a YouTube-based inbound client acquisition system for agency owners doing between $5,000 to $20,000 a month within the next 6 months. Notice what makes this offer strong. Number one, we have a specific mechanism, YouTube-based inbound system, specific audience, agency owners doing between 5 to 20K a month, and a specific outcome, which is inbound client acquisition, and a specific timeline within 6 months. Now, a generic offer means that when a qualified prospect gets on a call, they will also be on a call with 2-3 other competitors with nearly the identical offer, and they are going to choose whoever has the cheapest offer. A unique specific offer means your content pre-sells them to your specific approach, so they come to the call already sold on you specifically, and what you have to offer is so different they cannot compare you to the other guys because your offer is fundamentally not the same thing. And the great thing is that you can package offers. For example, we run Facebook ads for your business as a unique offer, as something very different. Instead of charging $1,000 a month, you can charge $5,000 upfront, and what you do is you'll give them a sales training. You'll get them also setters to actually set those leads into their calendar, closers. You can offer something that other people are not offering and make that offer even better, even more unique. Now let's talk about the 3-phase content funnel. So every piece of content you create falls into these 3 sections, right? Understanding this is critical to building a YouTube channel that actually generates you clients and not just views. So number one, this is the top of funnel. This is what is going to build your audience and feed your ecosystem, get more people into it. So the main purpose of this is to attract new viewers to match your ICP who don't know their problem yet or are actively looking for some kind of solution to whatever issue, right? So the style is very broad videos, curiosity driven videos, searchable videos, which is very important, and highly shareable videos. So how I made this e-com store 300K with email marketing, how I generate quality leads for my agency, ranking the best and worst ways to get clients in 2026. This client acquisition system will help you sign your next 5 clients. This video I'm making right now is decently broad. Now these videos introduce you to your future clients. Actually, you're introducing yourself to them, right? They build your audience and they put people into your ecosystem. They do not need to be perfectly aligned with your offer. They just need to attract the right type of person. It is more broad, right? You not necessarily all of these people are qualified, but you want these people to come into your channel, watch your other videos, and become qualified over time. Now, middle of funnel, this is where you nurture and actually build trust, which is the most important part with YouTube. It's to simply build trust, right? So this is going to be tutorial style, how to, and problem solving videos. So how to set up Klaviyo video flows from scratch, how to set up Facebook ad manager for e-commerce stores, how these AI agency offers are working right now, how to write cold emails that actually get responses, or just these are just example offers. So this is specifics. People are searching this up and people are clicking on your videos, and these are more in-depth tutorials. So a lot of the people that come from these videos are going to watch these videos and go through that next level of qualification, right? They establish you as an expert and people search for them directly, and the people that do search for them are actively looking for a solution, right? And then someone watches 3 or 4 of your videos from your channel, they stop thinking of you as some YouTuber and start thinking of you as the authority on this specific topic. Even if the viewer could theoretically do it themselves after watching, most won't. They see the complexity and appreciate your expertise, and they hire you to do it for them. Giving away the how builds more trust, not more competition. You need to give away all the information. Don't hold back. I am literally showing you guys how you can install this funnel right now, step by step. And if you went out and wanted to do it, you could. It probably would take you longer than if you worked with me, but I'm just showing you that I know how this works. I've done it multiple times, and I'm not going to hold anything back. Now, this will build trust with you, and most likely you're going to click the link down below, watch my offer, and have me help you install this into your business instead of you trying to figure it out yourself, take much longer, waste your time, and the opportunity cost is just simply not worth it trying to figure stuff out. Like somebody who's new to Facebook ads most likely isn't going to try to run their own ads because it's going to be a waste of money, and most of the time they'll just burn cash. Now, number 3, this is your bottom of funnel content. This is where your conversions happen. So you want to convert warm and trusting viewers into actual booked calls. These are case studies, testimonials, offer specific breakdowns, and contrarian opinion pieces. For example, it can be a client case study on how you got them, more customers with Facebook ads. It can be testimonial videos. It can be deep dive courses, multiple hour, I've seen like 10-hour videos on how to set stuff up, how to set up Zapier flows, how to do all this super in-depth stuff. Or a contrarian take where you just completely misalign yourself from the rest of the industry and establish yourself as the guy who's doing something else from the rest of the industry that just builds even more trust, right? So the actual funnel flow, viewers find top of funnel videos, they get curious, they watch more videos, middle of funnel videos, they build trust, and then they go to the bottom of funnel videos where you show them the offer and they book calls, and the people that do book calls are already warm and pre-sold. Now, top of funnel videos will still book calls, middle of funnel videos will still book calls, but each booked call down the funnel is significantly more qualified. That's why you want to make more videos, because they're just more sales assets. They're practically pre-call video sales assets. Now let's talk about how to make YouTube videos that actually convert buyers, right? There's a big difference between YouTube videos that get views and videos that get clients. You want both. But if you had to choose, I would prioritize specifically videos that attract your ICP over videos that attract a larger audience, right? You want to sell in your videos. That's the whole point. So I'm going to give you the entire structure and formula right here. So in the first few seconds, right, 15 to 30 seconds, call out your ICP, call out the exact problem your ICP is experiencing, make them feel seen. Watch my intro, watch it back and see what I did there. Why is my intro different than the rest of my video? Because I'm calling out a specific problem and I'm making you curious in this topic. Then you want to introduce a solution, right? Present your model or framework that you're going to share in this video. Then you want to deliver on your value, walk them through the entire system, give all the information away, do not hold anything back. Then you want to show them proof, results, client testimonials, analytics, income, or actual case studies, just to build even more trust and establish you as that main authority. Then you want to have a call to action, tell them what to do next, right? If you want to work with me, book a call down below. You don't have to. Again, you could do this yourself, but if you want to do it faster, more efficient, and better, click the link down below, right? That is an example of a good call to action. You do it in the middle of the video, and then you do it at the very end of the video as well. Now, here's an example of a weak hook and a good hook. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to get clients for your agency. And here's a strong hook. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys the hook to this specific video. So right here, most business owners will never hit $50,000 a month. And it's not because their offer sucks. It's because they're doing one thing that's actively limiting their growth: manual cold outreach. So I call out the problem, and then right here, I offer the solution. You know what agencies and consultants that are scaling past $50,000 a month doing? They're not sending any cold DMs. They're having ready to buy inbound leads every single day. And then I say, I'm going to break down the exact system. And then I have a retention tactic where I say, watch till the end and I'll give you a freebie. Now, this hook is going to be different for every single niche that you do. Not every style works in every niche. You need to test and figure out which styles work for which type of videos. So guru and talking head style videos usually work better for info, where you're specifically trying to target the beginner audience, right? Trying to teach them how to start this, how to start that. Loom style videos work for more in the breakdown, technical, kind of more intermediate audience. Same with mural board / whiteboard breakdown videos. And vlogs attract even more, not even beginner. Vlogs just attract anybody who then watch your videos and become more educated. Now, this can switch around. Your niche could work with guru talking head style videos. Your niche could work with loom videos or mural board style videos. You just have to test every single type of video and see what works. Now, you also have to know that there's two types of videos. There's browse traffic and there's search traffic. And you have to to aim for different analytics to actually get YouTube to push these videos. So browse traffic is when YouTube videos appear on the YouTube homepage, on the suggested feed, on the recommended, the next video, right? And the thumbnails and title are everything. They're driven by curiosity and you want people to click, right? And this is usually your top of funnel. It kind of pops up for people. But again, this could be middle funnel or bottom funnel depending on your niche. Now, search traffic, it's very different. You specifically want to target someone who is looking for a solution to a problem. So whether it's somebody starting out, how do I run ads for my car detailing business? How do I do XYZ? But it's people who are usually looking up how to do something, right? And this appears when someone types a specific search. SEO and title and relevance are really important. You want to take up that number one spot because that's where usually people click. Even number two, number three, those are the best spots. But after that, you kind of start to go down. So you need to know how to properly structure your titles to rank that number one section. And you can just do that again with trial and error, trying to figure out what works, which will take time. Maybe you'll get the number three spot. So you upload another video, will get the number one spot, then it'll drop down to number five. So you upload another one, then it'll actually stay on the number one spot. You just have to do a lot of testing, and that's exactly what I learned. But the ideal strategy is you use search to pull in qualified middle of funnel viewers who are actively looking for a solution, and you pair it with browse traffic for top of funnel videos to build your broader audience who then go on your channel and watch your middle of funnel videos. Now let's talk about the metrics, and I'll actually show you the metrics from my personal channel. Now, most people are obsessed with the view counts, but views don't actually matter. There's two metrics that actually determine whether YouTube pushes your video and whether your channel actually grows. So number one is the click-through rate. Very, very important. This is your thumbnail and your title, right? Then there's the average view duration, AVD. Also, it could be watch time. So it could be like a 7-minute watch time, but generally you take the percentage of it. So if it's 20-minute video, people watch 10 minutes, that's 50% watch time, right? So for the click-through rate, you want to get an 8% click-through rate to a 10% click-through rate. Now, again, this highly depends on the niche. With vlogs, you can get away with a 5% click-through rate and YouTube will push your video. For education, you kind of want to have a higher click-through rate. Anything above 8% is really good. Anything above 10% is amazing, and that video will 100% get an insane amount of views. And then below 4% means your thumbnail or your title are just not attracting your ICP or your audience, and they're not clicking on the video. 10% click-through rate with 20% watch time will massively outperform a 2% click-through rate with 50% watch time. Click-through rate is super important. That's why back in the day, there used to be so much clickbait on YouTube. They would put seductive women in the thumbnails because people would click on it and it would increase your click-through rate. But YouTube realized that, so they decided to add the AVD or average view duration metric. This negates any clickbait. So you actually have to deliver on your promise and keep the viewer entertained. And with a combination of these both, your videos are bound to go viral. So for shorter videos, 10 to 20 minutes long, you want to go for a 30% average view duration. If you hit 30% average view duration, your video is bound to get at least a few thousand views. For longer videos, so full course videos, 45 to 90 minute videos, 17 to 20% average view duration is okay. It's acceptable because there is so many minutes. If the video is 100 minutes long, it's only 20% view duration. That's still 20 minutes compared to a 20-minute video with 30% view duration. That's only like 6 minutes. Now here's a real example from source material. A full course video, 42 minutes long, got 8.7% click-through rate and 17% average view duration. Despite having a low watch time, it generated thousands of views and it made over $2,000 a month. That's just a nice little bonus of the actual ad revenue from the YouTube. But this video, because it's so long and it had such a high click-through rate, it ranked in search for number one for a very long time. And it still continues to get views for search traffic. Now, the viewers are mostly beginners, but they go to my channel, they watch my other videos, and they slowly get nurtured, they build trust with me, and they apply to work with me. Now, this is for my old offer, but that doesn't matter. I'm just showing you that this actually works. And I'll show you in the YouTube Manager in just a second. But how do you actually improve these metrics? Well, you need to find out where people drop off in your videos and why people drop off in your videos. And whenever you have a spike in retention, there's a retention graph, which I'll show you in just a second. But the retention graph, you might see that, oh, whenever you show some analytics or some money, there's a huge spike in watch time, right? There's a huge spike in your retention. So what you want to do is put that in your intro the next time. So your intro is very, very important. If people watch your intro, most of the time, they will watch the rest of the video. But the biggest issue with YouTube videos is people click off on the intro because they think it's boring and they won't watch the rest of the video. So you want to keep the first 30 seconds to 1 minute super engaged. You want people to actually watch your video. So everything that has a spike in your video, let's say when you show analytics, when you show your ads manager, when you show something interesting and you see that there's a spike, you throw that in the intro and the video is going to do significantly better next time. Then you want to study your actual click-through rate and compare it with other videos on YouTube. So see what other people are uploading, see what kind of thumbnails they're using, try their thumbnails, try something drastically different, try a mirror board style video, try a vlog style video, and see which videos get the highest click-through rate. Take that thumbnail, and then now you know, okay, this thumbnail gets the highest click-through rate, this video gets the highest watch time. Let's combine these together and create the perfect video. Now, after that, you're probably gonna have a banger, and then study why it worked, what made people watch that video all the way through, why is it so good, and then every single week you iterate with more data, with more analytics, and you can make better and better videos. Now, before we get into the calendar and the consistency, let me actually show you the analytics and my personal dashboard that I built. So I've had many different offers on this channel, an agency offer. I've also had an info offer specifically for beginners. So let me show you. This is, for example, an info offer. So this video is getting a lot of views through channel pages, which means they're watching my other videos, they're going to my channel, and they're clicking on it. It has been over a month since I uploaded this video, so of course it died, but this video got 2.2k views, which is not bad, and it's not good. So my average percentage viewed is 30%. That is good. That is pretty good, which means that this video probably had a lower click-through rate, and that's why it didn't go viral. Yeah, exactly. So it had a 6.4% click-through rate. If it had an 8% click-through rate, this probably would have gotten 5,000 views. Now, if I rank my videos by views, you'll see that I have a couple of bangers. This is the beginner video. It had 83,000 views, generated me $2,000. The reach was pretty good. I had 8.7% click-through rate. So this video was mainly in YouTube search, and it's still in YouTube search. This was for my info when I was still doing this. But as you can see, I have a lot of spikes right here when I show specific things. So I show some kind of extension, Meta Pixel Helper, and then I show some other stuff right here. So what I would do for my next iteration of this video is take this and put this all in the first minute. That way people stick around, they don't drop off as much. As you can see, after the intro, it stays relatively even. I had a big drop off here for some reason, but after the intro, it relatively stays even. So if you just get them to watch the intro, your watch time will stay significantly higher. This is only a 17 or 18% watch time, but this video is 42 minutes long, and that's why it did so well. Now, this video is how to make a website. This is for my old agency when I was helping clothing brands run Facebook ads and do email marketing. But as you can see, it's still in YouTube search, and it's probably because it's really high watch time. Well, it's not very high, but as you can see, for the first 6 minutes, 40% of people stayed watching this video, which is really, really good. Now, there's a big drop off here. I'm not exactly sure why, but for the next iteration of the video, I would remove this. I would take all these big spikes, try to put them in the very start, and then just let the video coast. Now, let's talk about the click-through rate. I bet this video has a really high click-through rate, and I was correct. It's a 10% click-through rate, and that is why this video did so good. People are just clicking on this video. If this had a 30% watch time, this probably would have 100,000 views. Now, let's look at a few more videos. Let's look at a actual vlog video. So this had 9,000 views. The watch time was 26%, not bad. And the click-through rate, as you can see, it only has 6%, which is not that good. But since this is a vlog and it's a different style of video, YouTube categorizes this video differently, and it gets pushed out with a different set of videos where the standard watch time and the standard click-through rate are different. For every single niche, there's a different audience and different analytics that do well. So for vlogs, the click-through rate doesn't have to be as high to perform well. Now let's go over one more. Let's talk about a mirror board video. This got 10k views. My average percentage viewed is actually not bad, 25%. And the click-through rate is kind of low now. When I originally dropped the video, yeah, it's still kind of low, but it probably did good because of the watch time. As you can see, after the intro, people just didn't click off and they practically watched the entire video. But in this video, in the future, if I remade it, I would try to fix the actual click-through rate issue because this is very, very low. But this also did well because at the time, nobody has done a mirror board video in this specific niche. So I kind of had a little bit of a boost from YouTube. So that just shows you some actual analytics. And as you can see, I have 10k or 12k subscribers, and I've done a lot of different styles. If we go to date, I uploaded really different videos when I first started. I tried guru style video for clothing brand, and as you can see, it only went up after my channel blew up and people started watching it back. But originally, this only got 700 views. Even though the average percentage viewed was really, really high, the click-through rate was just really, really bad. So this video did not perform well. Next, I tried a very different style thumbnail, and this video had a significantly higher click-through rate. It has 7%, actually went up, and that's why this video performed so well. Now, the actual video was a vlog style video, as you can see, and it gave me a 30% watch time. Now, let's look at something that has 11,000 views. So this has a 31% watch time, so it's even higher. It's a 12-minute video, so it's decently long, and the click-through rate, I mean, actually wasn't that high, but generally, you want to test different types of videos in different niches, and you'll literally just see what works. Now, I'll show you a prototype of a dashboard. This is the demo version right here, but let me show you, this is a dashboard that I custom built with my team. By the way, if you do click the link down below, book a call, join my offer, we do install this for you so you can track all your data, including your YouTube data. We just built this, so I only have the newest video set up. Also, I haven't dropped the video in months, so there really isn't much here, but you'll see total leads coming in, qualified leads coming in, cash collected, total revenue, booked calls, show rate, all from your YouTube video. videos. And that is how you can see, okay, maybe this video had 500 views and this other video had 1,000 views, but you got significantly more qualified leads from the video with 500 views. So who cares about the views? Keep uploading the one that has 500 views. Just remake that video over and over and over again. And it shows you really cool stuff. It shows you your actual money coming in. It shows you, like, this is all sample data because, again, this was the demo version of the dashboard. So none of this data is real, but it shows you a lot of really awesome stuff. Your cash collected, new cash collected, MRR, total revenue, close rate, calls taken, calls closed, all this different stuff, qualified leads, unqualified leads. If you go to the lead flow section, it shows you what percent of your leads are qualified, which ones are qualified. So when they filled out your type form, did they say they have money to invest compared to total leads? Really great stuff. Again, this was the developer version of the dashboard, so this analytics are not completely correct. But if you do join my offer and do decide to work with me, we literally install this for you. So let's talk about how consistent you should be, how often you should post, and your calendar. So the most common failure point in content is just inconsistency. Ideas are worthless if you never execute them. So here is the minimum viable content system, and this is the same system that I honestly am going to use for this new offer. In the past, I've uploaded an insane amount of volume, but you burn out fast. So I recommend you follow this. So one long form video per week. This is not negotiable. You have to do 4 videos per month. That's still not that many videos. And if you want to get better, and especially if you have a new channel, you have to A/B test a lot of videos, see what's working, see what's not working. So you want to do at least 1 video per week, 12 videos per quarter, and each one is a 24/7 sales asset. Even if you're still doing cold calls, you can send those people to your YouTube as a pre-sales call resource so they can get more adapted to your offer and see that you're a trustworthy person and you know what you're talking about. Now, after 12 videos, someone can binge your channel and spend 3 to 6 hours, maybe even 10 hours, depending on how long your videos are, and spend 3 to 6 hours, maybe even 10 hours watching your videos, depending how long they are. And this will allow you to hit your 7-hour rule threshold, right? Not through one video, but through a library of content that's going to compound over time. For example, if you're doing Facebook ads for, let's say, car detailing, you can make a video on how to set up the Facebook business portfolio, how to set up the Facebook business ads manager, how to create actual ads in Photoshop, in Canva, in CapCut. You can make a bunch of different styles of videos. Now, you can also use this Kanban or Kanban, I don't know, content planning system. And this is what I do. I'll show you my Notion board right here in a second. So this is exactly what I use. I have a bunch of video ideas here, and I'll literally go to YouTube. I'll find similar videos that I like, that I think are good. I'm going to take their title, adapt it to my actual offer. I'll put their videos reference, and I'll just have a bunch of these videos. Then I decide what I'm going to record this week. I'll script out just the intro, and the rest I kind of freestyle, or if I have a miro board, or if I have, specific talking points, I just have a rough outline, and then I talk about it. And then, okay, let's say I'm scripting it. I put it in here. I have somebody else script it out. Then I'll put it into video recording. I'll have myself record it. Then I'll put it into video editing, which means I send it off to my editors, and then video published. Boom, we're good, right? It's a really easy way to keep track of all your stuff. This is just a free Notion template. So I highly suggest you set something up like this for yourself. Now, how do you find video ideas, right? So I highly recommend you do not try to make your own ideas from the start, because you do not have the experience, you do not have the authority, you do not have the knowledge to make videos that will actually perform well. Instead, find a video in your niche, right? Or in an adjacent niche, not necessarily your exact one. If you're doing Facebook ads for car detailing, you can look in the niche for Facebook ads for home service, right? Find which videos are doing well and which YouTubers are doing well, and ask them, how can I make this video for my specific audience and my specific niche? Now, remake it with your own expertise, your own examples, your own case studies, your own information, right? But you want to take the structure of the title and you want to take the structure of the actual thumbnail. Now, you can mix different thumbnails with different titles from different videos, and the actual content can be completely different, but that is how you actually get people to click on your video. Also, I highly recommend that you do not edit your own videos, but if you know how to do basic editing, that's fine. But if you don't know how to use Photoshop or Canva, not even Canva, if you don't know how to use Photoshop, do not make your own thumbnails. Thumbnails are one of the most important part to get your click-through rate high. Pay someone $10, $20, $30. If that's going to get you 2 times more views, 3 times more views, do not save a little bit of money, and in the long run, the opportunity cost is just not worth it. You're going to get less leads, less clicks on your videos if your thumbnails suck. So pay someone to do it, and you can easily find people on X. If you want my editors, again, you can work with me, and I'll give you my actual editors, my thumbnail makers, my script writers, all that stuff. So click the link down below. But regardless, let me show you an example. So let's say there's a video that you like, ranking content formats that make money in 2026, and you want to remake this for the agency consulting space. You can say ranking best ways to get leads in your agency in 2026, or something along those lines, right? Here's the authority stacking formula, by the way. Every quarter, aim to have one in-depth case study breakdown, right? One tactical deep dive, so 30 to 60 minutes where you give a lot of information away. One contrarian opinion, so something very different. And if you want, you can do one lifestyle / authority building one, like day in the life of owning this kind of company, or if that's more if you're in the info space or consulting space. If you are in the agency space, just stick to the deep dives, really the deep dives in the case studies. studies. Those are going to be your best friends. You can upload a bunch of those, especially the case studies. They're going to make a lot of money for you. Now, let's talk about how you can also utilize Instagram to make even more money. So YouTube is the primary platform for this system, right? YouTube does the selling, YouTube builds trust, YouTube actually builds you as an authority. But Instagram is also a great amplifier. So YouTube builds a lot of trust, like I said, but Instagram creates micro touch points that drive qualified followers into your main funnel. So if you post value-based content on Instagram, maybe you won't get too many views. Maybe it's easier for you to get views on Instagram and you'll go more viral, right? Depending on what your niche is. But make sure you're not doing any lifestyle content, not any motivational content, but value-based education content. This can easily target your ICP and you can get even more views than YouTube. And then once you have some interest, you can send people and send traffic to your YouTube videos. And let me show you an example for my actual Instagram. This is right here is an education video. As you can see, it had 1,000 likes. It got 32,000 views. And if we go to the insights, so this video got me 160 followers. Now let's say half of those people, let's take a round number, 100 of those people are interested in what I have to do, what I have to say, because they obviously followed me, and I send them to YouTube. 100 people go to YouTube, 1% converts. That's an extra client just from this short video. That's what, just a couple seconds long, maybe 1 minute long. It took me 10 minutes to record. It got me 1,000 likes. It has almost 1,000 saves. So people are going back on this, watching this, and they're going to my profile, right? This is really, really good. And if you can make one video of these every single day, you're going to make a lot more money. But I highly recommend you just start off with YouTube, because Instagram posting daily, in my opinion, is very difficult unless it's lifestyle content. Education content is kind of hard to pump out every single day unless you sit down for 1 week and record the entire thing, which I will actually be doing from now on. But then those people get sent to your actual sequence where you have this in your highlights and it'll say your actual offer, the problem, the solution, kind of like the YouTube hooks. So this one is mine. Last month I made $50,000. I thought this was impossible. I had these issues in my agency, and now I get to live my dream life with my dream clients, blah, blah, blah. I show some results. I kind of show people exactly what I did with my agency based on my specific strategy. And then at the very end, I have a call to action, comment game plan. I'll show another analytic and I'll say comment change. And what I'll do is once they type those keywords in, I'll send them to YouTube where they actually watch my sales assets and begin to trust me and begin to be interested in my offer. Now, here's exactly how the platforms work together. So Instagram, it's pretty much discovery and qualification. YouTube is your deep trust and pre-selling. And then your booking page is your actual conversion. So many prospects will find you on Instagram, but not book until they've watched your YouTube videos. So you want to make sure that you have a really, really good YouTube. Like I said, YouTube is the most important one. Instagram is just something additional. It's like adding fuel to the fire, especially if your videos are getting 10, 20,000 views per video. You can get a lot of extra traffic to YouTube. Now let's talk about the actual call funnel, which is exactly what I use. So this is actually a very simple setup. First, YouTube videos, right? It includes a call to action to the description to click the link, which I told you guys a million times. Then you'll have a VSL, so pretty much breaking down your actual offer. Then on that same page, you'll have an application form, so you can just use Typeform or go high level if you're in the lead gen space, right? And then it just pre-qualifies the people. Then it takes them to the booking page, and then you do your sales calls, and then you close, right? So it's great because they book in themselves. Now you can get rid of the VSL stage, just have an application that goes to a booking page, or just have a booking page and nothing else, depending on how many views you're getting. If you're getting thousands of views, you want to qualify more. If you're getting a couple thousand views, maybe 1,000-2,000, you can have an application form. If you're getting 500 views, just send them straight to the booking page because there's not that much to qualify or not that many people to qualify. Then you just pretty much close them, and most of the time they're pre-sold when they show up to the call. Now, without an application, random people can book into your calendar, time wasters, tire kickers. So if you're getting a lot of views, 10,000 views, 20,000 views, even 5,000 views, I highly recommend you qualify your people with something like a Typeform. Make sure to have your call to action in the middle of the video, at the end of the video, and obviously in the description link. If you want to have it in your comments, you can as well, but I don't recommend you spam your people because there's an extent to where it just starts looking a little bit unprofessional. So if you actually want to install this system and funnel for yourself, make your first 1,000 leads, start hitting 50K a month, follow this 12-month plan right here, pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever you need, and follow it. Otherwise, if you do want to work with us, a done with you offer where we help you, we install our dashboards, we set you up with the script writers, the editors, and all that stuff, and help you do this in the next 6 months. Click the link down below. Just watch my VSL. It's a quick 10-minute video. Fill out the application, book a call, and I will speak to you soon. Otherwise, I'll see you boys in the next video. Peace.